With 2016 done, all the horror of the games we were hyped for and ended up being disappointed by is finally over. But now it's time to move on to 2017, and it's fun to be excited about new games coming out. But that also leaves the question is which games may end up being, well, this year's mighty number 9. So, without further ado, here are 6 games that I think have the potential to be disappointing in 2017. Sonic fans are a lot of things, but one thing for sure they are is loyal. They will defend Sonic games no matter how bad they end up being. But I also am pretty excited for the brand new Sonic Mania. It's being done by people that worked on a lot of the mobile versions of Sonic games, which actually are pretty good. In fact, there was so much love put into them, they re-added Hidden Palace into Sonic 2, which is really cool. But now we're seeing a brand new game. It has that whole retro style, which may be a little bit played out at this point. Is there going to be enough content, new levels, and will the new levels play well enough to capture everything and all that nostalgia that we love about the old school Sonic titles? Will there be a great soundtrack to back up all the levels as we're speeding through them? And overall, will this end up being a game that lives up to everything that Sonic should be known for, instead of what Sonic is known for now? And honestly, I have my doubts. While I may not be super excited for it, Ubisoft's For Honor I have a lot of doubts about. I think it's really cool to make a more realistic sword and weapon based combat game with the styles of knight and viking and samurai thrown in with worlds and levels that represent each of them. It has a single player and multiplayer, but is there going to be enough of a single player experience to truly warrant picking it up if you're not going to really be into multiplayer? And when it comes to the multiplayer, is there going to be a stable enough environment to make the swordplay actually fun to engage in, or will the community slowly start to drop off not long after the game initially comes out? The only thing that's going to make For Honor an amazing title is going to be the community that cultivates around the game. But I feel like maybe For Honor may be this year's The Division. I still feel like it may get delayed into next year, but supposedly, according to the Kickstarter, Shenmue 3 will be out this year, getting one of the biggest Kickstarter kicks ever from being a part of Sony's big press conference at E3. Shenmue had a ton of hype put into it and reached its goal in a matter of seconds. In fact, I was one of the many that put money towards Shenmue. But it's been a long time since Shenmue 2 came out, and it's a different style of game. It's open world with an absolute ton of detail to it, but it's slower paced than your more traditional and more popular open world games that have come out since. Is this world ready for a new Shenmue title? Will the masses take the game and actually fall in love with it like many of us did way back in the day on the Dreamcast? Overall, I have my doubts that Shenmue 3 will end up living up to a lot of the hype that's already surrounding it. And if it gets a lot of delays and some other things, we may have another mighty number 9 on our hands. Though trust me, I really hope Shenmue 3 is going to be amazing. Resident Evil 7, while I'm extremely excited for it, also has potential to be a huge disappointment. Will this game be able to catch lightning in a bottle again, like Resident Evil 4 did? It changed so much from the classic games and ended up being fantastic. Will Resident Evil 7 change so much from the previous titles we've already seen and also become an all-time classic? It seems to have alienated a lot of long-time fans. Myself, being a long-time fan, is actually pretty happy with what I've seen so far and think it's going to capture horror unlike any previous Resident Evil title has truly ended up doing. But is it enough? I think for Resident Evil 7 to really be amazing, it's going to have to bring in new fans and become the new face of horror for a brand new generation, as the old fans are probably already writing it off or aren't going to be enough to truly make this game one of the top ones of 2017. And that's why I have doubts about RE7. This is a game I've been excited for a long time, but I feel like at this point, A, we may never see it, or B, when it finally comes out, it's gonna be disappointing, and that's Cuphead. This game captures the old school cartoon feel with the 1920s and 30s era of animation, and has some of the most beautiful looking scenery and graphics I've ever seen in a game. And in fact, the game became so popular, they've gone back and kind of rewritten the game and changed it up and added a lot to it since we initially saw the original trailer years ago at this point. But All those changes and a very long development cycle doesn't always equal to be a good game. Will this end up falling apart? Will it feel disjointed with changes up to the gameplay? And will it still be a lengthy enough experience for people that end up finally getting it to say that, hey, Cuphead was well worth the wait? I really hope it is, but unfortunately, I still don't even know if we're going to see Cuphead in 2017, but if we do, it could end up being a disappointment. I'm 100% cheating with this one, but I think it's a big enough topic to potentially be the biggest disappointment of 2017, and that is the Nintendo Switch as a whole. There are a lot of people that are skeptical, including myself, as I got burned on buying the Wii U on day of launch and just felt that many of the games, while there were some great titles, there just wasn't enough of them. There were so many weeks and months that went by with the Wii U that I had nothing to play on my system. But I'm hoping the Switch is different. I hope they go back to third-party support. I hope all those third-party companies that said they're going to work with Nintendo for the Switch come in and release not only ports of their games, but brand new original titles not seen before and bring them to Nintendo's console. There's a lot of rumors surrounding it, and we will know soon whether or not the price point as well as the initial games are going to be enough to really bring people in for its launch upcoming in March. But overall, even with the great Breath of the Wild and how amazing that game has the potential to be, I still feel like the Nintendo Switch has a lot riding on it, and at the same time could potentially be another huge flop for Nintendo if it doesn't deliver, and it doesn't deliver quickly. So there you have it, the 5 games and a system that I think have the potential to be a disappointment in 2017. Of course, I don't want any of these to fail. I'm a big fan of all gaming, all genres, all systems, so I don't want anything on this list to fail. I want it to come out, knock it out of the park, and become one of the all-time greats as far as gaming is concerned. But we know how it goes every year. There are plenty of games that come out that are great, and plenty of ones that end up failing to live up to expectation and hype. But who knows? 2017 may change everything, and it's a perfect year for gaming, though I highly doubt that's going to happen. Be sure to let me know down in the comments which games on this list you disagree with, or which games you think will be a disappointment in 2017. But anyway guys, that's going to wrap up this countdown. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course I hope you enjoyed.